a system of two spheres, and then their charges was described using figure A to E. Suppose we have given a question that prepare a positively charged sphere. Then how we can prepare a positively charged sphere? Some of you may observe it that the question was there in the book, is there in the book. As example number 1, how to prepare positively charged sphere. So in that particular topic, we need to take a neutral sphere having insulative stand. As I am saying that the sphere is neutral, it means the amount of positive and negative charges present on the sphere is equal. So the total sum of charges on the sphere becomes 0. This is first characteristic of electric charge also. The electric charges have 3 different characteristics. First, they are additive. Second, the charging of them gives us an opportunity to know and calculate their quantized forms also. That is to say the law of quantization, which we discussed in our first or second lecture, right? And the third characteristic of it is conservation, which will be our next topic. So, as it is additive, as the charges are additive, the rule for their addition is the amount of positive and negative charge added together must be equal. And if it is so, then the total vector sum of the charges becomes 0. So here, as I am saying that the sphere is having charge 0, doesn't mean that the amount of charge present on it is 0. No. It means the amount of positive charges present is always equal to the amount of negative charges present on it. So charges may be there. Now, as we ask to prepare a positively charged sphere by means of induction, which we discussed yesterday. So let's bring a negatively charged plastic rod near to that sphere. This is our figure A, neutral, right? Now this is our figure B. According to our knowledge, what happened? As the negatively charged particles are near to the sphere, then on the surface facing that plastic rod, which kind of charges are accumulated or stored? Yes, this is the rod having negative charge, positive, and all the negative charge is pushed there. So, the another thing, as we ask for preparation of positively charged sphere, let's make an earthing. Earthing, we know about earthing now. It is a safety feature used for electric devices and circuits. So if we use this earthing, this is a symbolic form of earthing. It indicates earthing. So when we earth our sphere, all the negative charge accumulated over there goes to the earth. Then let's remove that earthing. But still the rod is over there. And finally, let's remove that charged rod as well. Then we will have this kind of sphere. And we can see that this sphere is positively charged now. There is only positive charge present on the sphere. So what happened? A neutral body is there. A negatively charged sphere is brought near to the sphere. And because of that, the distribution of charges happened like this, observed like this. Thereafter, we made some earthing to the sphere. By using that, the negative, all negative charge present on the sphere goes to the earth, and that's why the positive charge, only positive charge remains on the sphere. And after removing that plastic rod, the positive charge gets spread on the sphere, and we got this positively charged sphere. So, but I am not going to allow you or give you time for this explanation or the answer. This is your today's homework. This is illustration number 1. You have to draw this figure by your own, and then after write 5 sentences that we did in our last theorem yesterday. Okay, so this is one homework for you. So let's move ahead. It is your illustration number 1 according to textbook. So if needed, please go through it, or please take help from that. Now our today's first question is, explain, write down with me, explain law of conservation of charge. Explain law of conservation of charge. What it means by conservation? See, previously I told you that the charge when occur from its origin, it is in couple. What it means by in couple? A positive and negative charge bond, that is generates or die, that is in couple. Amount of positive and amount of negative charges generated or destroyed are in couple. So let I have a box which is electrically isolated. What it means? Electrically isolated means no any charge is allowed to enter or no any charge is allowed to escape from it. Also, the number of charges present inside this box is equal in positive type and negative type, so that the total electric charge of this cube is 0. As they get added together, आपके पास 25 protons है, 25 electrons है, or you put all of them inside the box, and then after the system is isolated, so no other any charge from outside can enter or no any charge from inside can escape. तो अब क्या बात हुई? 25 plus 25, 25 protons. So you need to add 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 up to 35 times, and then minus 1 minus 1 minus 1 up to 35 times. So the total answer becomes 0. Total charge of the system becomes 0. And as I mentioned, no one charge. One charge means no any proton or electron is allowed to enter, and no any one electron or proton is allowed to escape. But it is possible for a photon to enter the system. What is photon? It is actually electrically neutral, or we can use some alpha rays, which is also one kind of photon. Or you can use gamma ray, which when enters inside, it gets divided in 2 parts, or we can say it generates 2 charges. One is positive and negative. One is positive and the another one is negative. Let me show the negative here by black color and the positive one. Okay. So now what happened? What is the number of charges present inside this box? 25 positive, 25 negative, and the vector sum of it is 0, right? Now what happened after introduction of this photon ray? It generates two charges, one positive, one negative. So the total amount of charges present inside the box is now 26 plus and 26 minus. So once again, the vector sum of charges of the system remains constant. So there is no change. That's why the law of conservation of charge is given as the vector sum or total charge of an electrically isolated system remains constant. Total charge of an electrically isolated system will remain constant. This is the law of conservation. So just draw this figure as fast you can. Just a figure. I will going to give you one or two sentences for that, and then after we'll write the statement of the law. Madam, first sentence. Consider an electrically isolated box as shown in the figure. It means, comma, it means no electric charge is generated inside, and no electric charge will escape from the box. Next point, from this, we can say that charges are conservative. Charges are conservative. Next point, statement. Next point. Charges can neither be generated nor be destroyed. But they can transfer from one to another surface. Charges can neither be generated nor be destroyed, but they can transfer from one to another surface. So it is also a proof. Do not write it. Just here. It is a proof of that process, what we did yesterday, that to rub a plastic or glass rod with wool or silk material. In those processes, what happened? Initially, both the materials are neutral in terms of charges. What it means? The charges were there. Charges are there, but they are equal in proportion as negative and positive types. Now, we rubbed them together. So whatever amount of electrons transferred from that wool to the plastic rod, the same amount of positive charges also gets opened up on that surface. That's why the amount of charging obtained on the plastic rod, the same amount of charging is also obtained on that wool piece. As the plastic rod becomes negatively charged, the wool piece becomes positively charged. That is to say, the amount of positive and negative transfer equally. That's why the vector sum of the system. Why this system now? Because we use that piece of wool and the plastic rod. So the total system is of two things now, wool and plastic. So the total vector sum of the system becomes 0, because whatever amount of negative charge transferred, the similar number of positive charge open. That's why the vector sum becomes 0. So it conserves that the entire value of charges present on the globe is conserved as they are in equal proportion. The vector sum becomes 0. Okay. So now we have two different methods to transfer charge. One, by direct physical contact. Let me tell you that the amount of charges distributed on two systems in contact is always equal. क्या कहना चाहता हूं? एक स्फीयर है आपके पास मेटल का, which possesses 1 coulomb charge. 1 coulomb. What is coulomb over there? It's a unit of measurement of charge. Was discovered by Coulomb. That's why in order to his name, the name of unit is also considered as Coulomb. Okay. When 1 ampere current passes through any cross section of conductor in 1 second, the amount of charge passes through it is considered 1 coulomb. This is the definition of that particular unit. Okay. So what we are discussing, let I have a sphere having 1 coulomb charge, and I have another sphere without charge. Here I am saying without charge means the positive and negative charges are equal in proportion. It do not possess charge. 0. It do not possess any positive or negative charge. And one sphere with a 1 coulomb charge. Now I connect them with a mean of aluminum wire, let's say, or even direct in contact, or by mean of aluminum wire. As I am using the wire of metal, the systems are considered to be in physical contact directly as well. So what happened? After removal of that wire, after some time, then we calculate the amount of charge present on both the spheres. We will find that the charge on each of them is 2/2. इसलिए मैं कहता हूं कि फिजिकल कांटेक्ट में अगर किसी भी चार्ज अनचार्ज या चार्ज बोथ कांटेक्ट में आएंगे, then you have to add them together as they are additive. Charge is additive, and after separation of them, you have to divide charges in equal proportion on either of the system. It is not mandatory for either of the system, for a system of two bodies only. ऐसा कुछ फिक्स है नहीं कि दो ही होने चाहिए स्फीयर या दो ही सिस्टम्स कनेक्ट हो सकती है. We can use number of systems together, but the distribution should be equal amongst all of them. दो से ज्यादा है लेट्स से, तो जब डिवाइड तुम लोगों को सेपरेट करोगे, then the total sum whatever obtained by combining or adding those charges present on the spheres, then they get separated again. The amount, total amount of charge over there gets distributed equally on each of them. Okay, so this is one method, and the other method is of induction. By inductive method also we can transfer a charge. Now our next and new question is state and explain Coulomb's law. This is a question which will definitely going to give you minimum 1 to maximum 3 marks in your external paper. इसका मतलब ये नहीं होता कि ये क्वेश्चन पूछा जाएगा, but some question or some different type of question is like a 1 mark question or a numerical or direct theory will be asked from this topic, Coulomb's law. First, just concentrate on the word, then we'll write. 11th स्टैंडर्ड का ग्रेविटेशनल फील्ड वाले चैप्टर में अट्रैक्टिव टाइप का फोर्स, ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स, उसकी डेफिनेशन और वो लॉ ऑफ ग्रेविटी जो न्यूटन ने दिया था, आई होप ऑल ऑफ यू रिमेंबर्ड. Let me recall it. The attractive force generated between two point-like particles is directly proportional to the product of their masses, मम्मी ने बहन नहीं, masses, and inversely proportional to the square of a distance between them. I hope all of you remember this law, right? It's a Newton's law of gravitation. Let me restate the law by changing a few words. Hear it completely. The electrical force which is also known as Coulombian because he was the founder. The electrical force generated between two stationary point-like charges. Mind well, stationary charge should be static between two stationary point light as small as it can. Charges is directly proportional to the product of their charges and inversely proportional to square of a distance between them. Almost like that statement used in gravity, right? The gravitational force generated between two point-like particles is directly proportional to the product of their masses. Here it is charges. See, the statement up to here is equal or same, yes, the same. Just the change is the gravitational force. The word gravitational is replaced by electrical, or you can say Coulombian as well. Then the all remaining words are equal. Then their charges instead of their masses. So as we know that the gravitational force generates because of the mass. The property of the material is mass. But here the property of these particles is charge. They must possess charge. Then such kind of force gets generated. Charge and inversely proportional to the square of a distance between them. All the remaining parts same. So those who remember the law of gravity can understand and learn this Coulombian law easily. Okay. So from the law, we can write let F be the electrical force generated. Then according to the law, it is proportional to the product of their charges. That means let me show the charge as Q. The symbol of charge is Q. And I have 2. So it is Q1 and Q2. And is also inversely proportional to the square of a distance between them. That is 1 upon R square. So from these two, we can write, which implies is F is equal, firstly it is F proportional Q1, Q2 by R square. We all know that to remove this proportionality constant, we need to, to remove this proportionality symbol, we need to take a proportionality constant over there. And generally we found that Quantiלל is always free to help us. But it means K is used as a constant as it is free. Q1, Q2 upon R square. Right. So Coulombian electrical force is generated between any two stationary point-like charges, which are at certain distance from each other. They can attract or repel. Do not fix in your mind that as the statement of this law is almost equal to the law of gravity, the force generated over here is also of attractive type only. No. At that point, the force is because of mass and it is only attractive type. But here we have 3 options. Both the charges are proton or positive, then repulsion generates. Both the charges are electrons, then negative, then also repulsion generates. And one is positive and one is negative, then attraction generates. So that the electrical force is of attractive or repulsive type. Not only attractive, not only repulsive, attractive or repulsive type. Okay. So start your answer with this statement. Your first statement, then your second statement, and reach to this this equation, F is equals to K Q1 by Q1 Q2 by R square. Then we will extend it. I hope सबका ये statement हो गया. So let me discuss something about this constant. So I am going to use the red pen for the next session, but you just need to continue it, write it continuously. Okay. Where K is electrical constant or Coulombian constant, Coulomb's constant, even we can say, and its value is 9.875 into 10 raised to 9. It is, let me write actual value first, then we will use the commercial value. The actual value is 8.9875 into 10 raised to 9. Newton meter square per coulomb square is its SI unit. How it is obtained? The unit of it is depends on the unit of charge and radius and force. So Newton, right? Meter square, right? And coulomb square. So it is like that. And in common for numerical purposes, the value of K used is 9 into 10 raised to 9. Okay. Also, the K is equals to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0. Where epsilon 0 is permittivity of free space. Permittivity of free space. And its value, how one can calculate the value of epsilon 0 from this? So let me show you that method also. From this formula, we can write epsilon 0 is equals to 1 upon 4 pi k, right? And we know the value of k now. It is 9 into 10 raised to 9 for commercial purposes or numeric purposes, or we can use 8.987 pi also. So by placing this value, the epsilon 0 as value 8.854 into 10 raised to minus 12 Coulomb square per Newton meter square. So this is the value of epsilon 0. Please remember these two values along with their units. They was asked as an MCQ in good set papers as well as more papers in past years. So please remember these two values, mind well, not only the digits, but its unit as well. Because dimensional formula of epsilon 0 was asked for 3 times in previous good set papers. So today's second homework for you is to prepare dimensional formula of epsilon 0 as well as of k. What is k? It is Coulomb's constant. But what happens if this epsilon 0 is not there in the formula? Then it happens first. So it happens only and only when the charge is not present in free space. Then the permittivity of that free space, it is not responsible for the force to generate between two charges, right? And those two charges present in some medium depends on the permittivity of medium at that time. That means we can write epsilon instead epsilon 0 whenever the force is generated due to medium or in the medium. It is not in free space. So according to our knowledge of Coulomb's law, now please give number 1 to that formula. F equals K Q1 Q2 upon R square in this theory. Please write equation 1 over there. Please do this. Now for a medium with permittivity epsilon, electrical force Fm. This is not Milchi. Fm Milchi nadia. The Fm shows the electrical force generates in some medium. There it generates between two charges. There it generates in some medium. The charges are present in some medium. So we are denoting it with Fm. It does not stand for showing Fm Milchi. So it's Fm 1 upon 4 pi epsilon. Instead of epsilon 0, now we are using epsilon Q1 Q2 upon R square. That's why F by Fm is equals to what we can write for this K in this formula? 1 upon 4 Please raise your hand to let me know that you wrote all these things, which is written with red pen. Is there anyone who did not write this yet? Okay. So let me read. So now let's divide this formula of electrical force in a free space with the electrical force in a medium. So that's why on doing F by Fm, it is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 Q1 Q2 upon R square divided by 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 Q1 Q2 upon R square. What is wrong? What is wrong? Epsilon 0 over here. It's epsilon only. So now from these two we can see that means F by Fm is equals to K is equals to ER is equals to actually it is equals to epsilon by epsilon 0. Sir, તમે આ લખ્યું તો કેવી રીતે આ બધું આવી ગયું? Actually it is F by Fm is equals to upon me upon means up to epsilon by epsilon 0, which is known as relative permittivity of vacuum, or it is also denoted by Ka means relative permittivity or also known as constant of permittivity So this equation is also very useful for numerical purposes. You can write the another name of it is also as dielectric constant of the medium. Sometimes the numerical it is given in this way. The dielectric constant of a medium is 2. Let's say the question says that. Then the value of the dielectric constant given is of K. Now again write down the question, new question as state Coulomb's law. What I am going to change in this question, the question is started as state once again, but state Coulomb's law and explain its vector form. State Coulomb's law and explain its vector form. This is a new question. And write down the statement by your own from your previous question, from the answer of your previous question. Start. Write down the statement in inverted colons or commas or bracket, whatever you say. Just write the statement of Coulomb's law again. Now just focus on the board first. Stop writing and focus on the board. Let me have 2 point-like stationary charges, Q1 and Q2. We can see both of them are positive and they are separated by distance r. Now, as we know, all the charges can create force, generate force on the nearby charges. So, this Q2 generates force on Q1, and we also know that the force generated between them is of repulsive type. So, we can predict the direction of the force as this. Similarly, on Q2 by Q1 is in direction this. Okay. So whenever we are showing the electrical force generated on Q1 due to Q2, then the distance between these two were denoted as R12. R12. Mind well, I am saying this for Q1. The force on Q1 due to Q2 in this direction. So it is R12. But if we are showing it for the force on Q2 by Q1, then the distance between those two is given by 2, 1. On 2 by 1, on 1 by 2. As we use the notation for gravitational forces, the same manner even. Okay. So the force generated in this direction is F1 because of 2, F12. And the force generated in this direction is on 2 by 1, F21. 2, 1, 1, 2. Now, as we state that the electrical force generated between two stationary point-like charges is directly proportional to the product of charges and inversely proportional to the distance between them. Then, according to, do not write because I will give you one more sentence to describe this figure and then we'll write the solution. Okay. So just watch first. According to Coulomb's law, the electrical force generated on charge Q2 by charge Q1 is, कौन से नंबर पे लग रहा है? सेकंड. कौन से नंबर वाला चार्ज लगा रहा है? फर्स्ट. So the force is given by F1. Okay. Is equals to K. Or we can write 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 also. Q1, Q2 upon R21 square and R21 cap. Why I am using R21 cap over here? Even though it is as like in the gravitational force. We used it so many times in our 11th standard concepts and numericals of gravity, right? The process and the equation is almost equal. Why it is so? Because we are denoting our force with direction. And if it is vector, then the quantity on right hand side also has to be vector. And so here unit vector is used. What about this? There is no arrow. Even though we know that the distance is calculated from 2 to 1, there also there is no arrow, means it indicates magnitude. So let me write where R21 means R21 vector. If I am interested to write vector, so with vector form, then I have to take modulo of it, then and then it is equals to this, right? And is equals to R2 minus R1. Okay. And what about R21 cap or caret? It's a unit vector. A unit vector is a vector divided by its own magnitude. So it is R2 minus R1 in bracket. Mind well, it is not module, it's bracket, it's a vector form, divided by R2 minus R1. This is a vector form and this is a simple form, right? So what we can write using the expanded form of this value, we can write F21 is equals to, what we write instead, K 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0, then Q1 Q2 upon module of R2 minus R1 square, then R2 minus R1 in bracket divide R2 minus R1 in module form, right? So in general, it is F21 is equals to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 Q1 Q2 R2 minus R1 divided by R2 minus R1 module cube. It is our final equation of electric force in vector form. Right. So just draw this figure, a small one, and write down a sentence on it. I am waiting for 1 minute. Right. Q1, Q2, R, R12, R21, F21, F12. Write down first statement. अगर ड्रॉ करना थोड़ा बाकी है तो उसे छोड़ के पहले स्टेटमेंट लिखो, देन यू विल बी गिवन 5 minutes टू राइट इट ऑल डाउन, एंड उस टाइम पे इसे कंप्लीट कर लेना. ओके, लिखो. लेट्स कंसीडर टू पॉइंट लाइक stationary charges plus Q1 and plus Q2 separated by smaller distance as shown in the figure. फुल स्टॉप करके उसी में लिखो आगे। द इलेक्ट्रिकल फोर्सेस generated between them are opposite. As both the charges are positive. Then start from here up to here and complete your answer by writing similarly F12 by your own. After completion of the formula F21, you have to write F12 by your own. This is your formula 1 and then formula 2. So what is the formula of your electric force generated on charge 1 due to charge 2? It is F12 equals Q1 Q2. Some of you may think that as the numbers are inverted here, the प्रोडक्ट ऑफ चार्ज ऑल्सो हैज टू बी इन्वर्टेड. ऐसा कुछ है नहीं भाई 4 5 जा 20 देन 5 4 जा भी 20 ही होगा. So you can write it. But here you have to write this. Otherwise, you are wrong. 1 2 is like this. And then 1 2 Q. This is your formula number 2. So from equation 1 and 2, we can say F21 equals minus F12. Agreed? They are opposite. See. So if you are going to compare them, then 1 is equal to the opposite of the second, minus of the second. So just come with complete revision of these two topics, Coulomb's law. So it would be beneficiary to you in calculating numericals, calculating the electrical force between charges in our tomorrow's lecture. Also remember, today you have to complete your illustration number 1 from textbook. And I also gave you one small question to solve, that is the dimensional formula of permittivity. So just complete these two things, and since tomorrow, from tomorrow we are going to start our numericals based on the topic. So come with revision of these topics as well.